Today's the day that Ofgem pulled everybody's pants down and basically they've announced the new energy cap for September to December this year. So yeah, all prices are going up again. So I figured I'd got some data from the Blade and the PerfectDraft Pro. So why don't we have a quick look at what we're paying now against what we're going to be paying in September to December this year, and then potentially what you're going to be paying next year. So let's have a look. So at the moment, I've got some data. This is from the last couple of weeks. So bearing in mind it is summer, so hopefully these running costs are going to drop during the winter because the average temperature is obviously going to be lower. And you can see both the PerfectDraft Pro here and the Blade here are both responding to the temperature outside and using less power when it's cooler, which is obviously what you'd expect because it's just a fridge or a cooler. But what you've got also, they also respond to when there's less beer in there. So I've got to admit, some days you'll see that the power usage is slightly lower on a warmer day, and that's just because I've drunk more, because it was warm and I was thirsty. And what happens when you're thirsty? You want to drink beer. So, happy days. So what we've got those, we've got the temperatures in there, look, we've got the power usage, we've got the Blade power usage, the multiplier, and you can actually see, if you're not used to these machines, basically the Blade is like a fridge. It uses a proper compressor with coolant and so on, and refrigerant. The PerfectDraft Pro and the PerfectDraft both use a Peltier, which is basically like a little plate, little cold plate, cold on one side, hot on the other. So you've got a fan on the side with the heat, it just chucks out the heat out the back of the machine and it keeps the other side of the plate cold, and then that gets transferred to your beer to cool it. So you can see in terms of energy efficiency, the Blade is much better. So on that day, look, the average temperature was 21.2. I think we actually hit 31 degrees that day. And the PerfectDraft Pro used 6 times more power than the Blade. And on the best days, it used sort of like 3.3 times the power. So potentially that was like an empty keg in the PerfectDraft, to be fair. I don't know. But yeah, you can see there's quite a big difference there. And we've got the multiplier, the average out of all of that is 4.3. So if you've got a PerfectDraft Pro, it's using 4.3 times the power of the Blade machine, which some of you might be surprised at. But anyway, so this is the costs that I've got at the minute. So I've been paying Sainsburys or Eon 19.2p a kilowatt. So daily cost 35p for the PD Pro, 8p for the Blade. So just going off those average figures, so bearing in mind hopefully when it gets a bit cooler over winter, if it does, then obviously these costs are going to drop a bit. But this is where I am at the minute until next month. I think our fixed term ends in September. So I've been paying £10 a month to run the PerfectDraft Pro and £2.5 to run the Blade. So in the scheme of things, it's nothing, is it really? But obviously, some of you are on the variable costs already, so you're paying £15 a month to run the PerfectDraft Pro currently, and £3.70 a month to run the Blade. So that monthly cost is worked off the, I've just gone daily cost times by 30, just to average it out a bit. But you can see annual cost, as you can see, 365 days. So PerfectDraft Pro is currently costing £188 a year in electric to run. So it's a fair bit, don't get me wrong. It is a luxury, these items. So if you can afford them and you're putting the kegs through them, you're potentially not going to be worrying about what your appliance costs are. But some people are not that lucky and they will be looking at this in detail, which is what I do. So let's have a look. So the September to December 22, this is the new cap that was announced this morning. I had these figures ready to go yesterday actually. I'd guesstimated it at 50p a unit, and it's turned out it's actually 51.8p. So it's gone up, which is fucking nuts, to be fair. Anyway, they love to pull our pants down, don't they? So what have we got? So the power usage is going up. This is between September and December this year. Now that's assuming that daily power usage. Last winter on the old PerfectDraft Pro software, I was using about 1.2 kilowatts a day, I think, but the software did change. So it's cool in a different way now. So in all fairness, none of the beta testers know what it's going to run like this winter because the software is obviously different. But so we're looking at potentially worst case scenario, £28 a month, £29 a month for the PerfectDraft Pro just to keep the lights on. And for the Blade machine, you're looking at £6.84 per month. So it's quite a big difference. So essentially, you've got to think, if you've got a PerfectDraft Pro machine on the new energy price cap, you're going to be paying the equivalent of a keg a month just to keep that thing turned on. So 350 quid a year. Like I say, some people genuinely won't give a shit. Some people, it's going to mean quite a bit. That 350 quid a year is going to be the difference between putting food on those kids' tables. Who knows? But then it's going up again. So I've got some sort of... it depends, doesn't it? Some people are saying another 20% jump between January and March. And you can see, so I've gone for 60p. And potentially that's going to be slightly more because that was based off yesterday's figures. So who knows? But that shows that the PerfectDraft Pro then is going to run £33 a month to keep the lights on versus £7.86 a month for the Blade. So you can instantly see a lot of people say, well, when they work out all the keg prices, it's actually slightly cheaper to buy PerfectDraft beers. And yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong, it is. But the problem is the prices are going up, the discount codes are coming down, things are all starting to change, but no one's took into account the energy just to keep the machine on. And don't get me wrong, there's some of you sat there, 2 machines, 2 PD Pros, 3 PD Pros, 3 Blades. So if you're running 2 PD Pros, you're potentially going to be spending 65 quid a month just to have them turned on. Think about that. And like with the Blade, if you've got a couple of Blade machines, 15 quid a month, which to be fair, it's not much in the scheme of things, is it? But everyone's got a different experience at the minute. There's some people going to come out of this as winners, some people are going to come out of this as losers. We've just got to all try and get out the other side, haven't we, really? So we're just paying for obviously what's going off in Ukraine and so on. It is what it is. I think they're all trying to recoup a bit of money from COVID, aren't they, at the end of the day? So costs are through the roof. This is what you're looking at. Well, what can you say, really? It is what it is. Other appliances you've got are obviously going to cost potentially more. If you've got a hot tub, then Jesus Christ, I'd have that turned off for a bit. But again, if you're earning the money to keep it on, you're not going to care. But it's just really a little video for those people who are interested. How much is it going to cost me? Now you know. September to December 22, if you're on variable, £30 a month for the PD Pro, £7 a month for the Blade. Simple. And then you're looking at more, 33 quid a month next year, £8 a month for the Blade. So some people might look at this and think, you know what, it might change my mind on what I'm going to drink. Some people might just think, well, you see it on social media, don't you, really? A lot of people moan about these machines who've not got them, that they're too expensive, they're going to drink cans, they don't realise the benefits because it's a luxury item. But there are people who are going to sort of see these numbers and think, I'm going to turn it off for a bit and go back to cans. That'll be the only way I drink my beer. So yeah, there you go, really. Hopefully that gives some of you an answer to a question that you never asked. I've got to try and find the stop button now. This is where I always have trouble, to be fair. I can't see where the stop button is. I'll find it somewhere. Don't know where, though. Yeah, I don't know. It's disappeared on me. There it is, look, I can see it. Right then, so you all have a good weekend, a bank holiday weekend. I hope you all drink a lot of beer. The Oktoberfest kegs have come on the PerfectDraft, so got a few of those ready to go in, and hopefully we might see something on the Blade this year. Who knows, that'd be great, wouldn't it, if we got something like Paulana on the Blade, the Oktoberfest. That'd be mega. Fingers crossed, eh? So yeah, hope you're enjoying machines, have a good weekend and drink lots of beer. See you later.